What is up, YouTubers, video creators, photographers, videographers, and people just interested in lenses? Welcome to Leroy's Quest. In this video, we're going to be doing a Panasonic G7 Lumix Lens Roundup. I've got 5 lenses in front of me. I have one lens on my camera that I'm using right now. We're going to have a look at the differences between all these lenses, some of the pros and cons of using all these different lenses, talk a bit about price, a bit about the features, and generally have an awesome time while going through it. So let's start up this end. I actually have 2 lenses here. The box is for the lens that I'm using on the camera. So let's start with that one, and then we'll talk about this one in a moment. Okay, so this is the Panasonic 25mm prime fixed lens with an f1.7 aperture. So quite a wide aperture, good for videos like this, where your subject is just in one position. You're not having to do any zooming or anything like that. Having the wide aperture, we have much higher quality of video. It allows us to achieve a shallow depth of field. So if you're looking for that awesome bokeh in the background of your videos, you're going to want a prime lens. 25mm is a 50mm full frame equivalent. You can go for something a bit lower if you're looking for a wider angle. They do go down to about 12mm, 8mm even. The lower they go, the higher the price goes. So this was a good compromise for me in price and quality. I think it was about $250, $300 for this lens. I will have links to all these lenses below this video, so don't worry about that. But this is a good one to have in your kit, especially if you're doing vlogging or courses presenting videos such as this. That's a good one to go for. So obviously you can see the quality on this. I'm not going to do examples of video footage for all these lenses, but subscribe and click the bell icon to get alerts, and I will be doing some example videos from all these lenses over the next week and months to come. So hit subscribe if you want to see those examples. Okay, on to this little baby. This is a 12 to 32. Let's open her up. Wrong end. Let's open her up. So we have the 12 to 32 f3.5 to f5.6. So still a fairly wide aperture, but variable. Now what I like about this particular lens, I bought it for traveling. So you can see it there, and you can see it's almost a pancake lens. And what I like about it is that when you put it on your camera, that actually pops out. So it pops out like that, and that's your first zoom position there, and then you can zoom in like that with the zoom ring, and then you can zoom it back in, and you're good to go for travel. Now originally I thought this would be great for travel. I can put it on my camera. I don't have to worry about too much about the weight and the bulkiness of the lens. These lenses weigh nothing. That's probably like less than 100 grams. But then what I discovered later on is that something which we'll discuss in a moment, like the 14 to 140, is only about 150 grams more, slightly more bulky, and gives you way more versatility. So we'll discuss that in a moment, but let's work our way up. So next we have, I'll talk about these two in tandem. So we have the 14 to 42, f3.5 to 5.6, and this is actually a kit lens. So there it is there. It does zoom slightly, so you can see that. So we have a range of zoom there. The aperture isn't that wide, so you don't get the same type of shallow depth of field effects as you do with the prime lens that I'm using on this camera at the moment. But it is a good beginner lens, so 14mm, obviously going to get a much wider angle view than what we have in this video here on the 25mm that we're currently filming on. And then that goes well paired with, because we get 14 up to 42mm, and then you pair that with the 45 to 150, and it's a natural progression up from the 42 to the 45, and then you get some additional zoom length here with this one. So this one is f4 to f5.6, not a massive aperture, but good enough and a fairly good quality for a kit lens. Still quite light, but what I found is we've got 14 to 42, and we've got 45 to 150, so depending on what you're actually trying to shoot, you may find yourself swapping and switching between these two lenses here, which can be painful and annoying and a waste of time, and you might actually miss the shots that you're trying to get in the first place. So what I found for travel, and even when out and about, you know, doing a city shoot, is that you could trade in this 14 to 42 and 45 to 150 kit lens for the 14 to 140. So pretty much here we lose 10mm in the fully extended range, but it starts at 14, and if we look at the aperture, f3.5 to f5.6, so the aperture is the same as the 14 to 42, but we get essentially two lenses in one without having to switch out all the time. And who wants to switch out when you could just stick with one awesome lens and it can do pretty much most of what you want to do. As I said, the aperture isn't that wide, so f3.5 compared to what we're shooting on now, which is the f1.7, which is the whole reason that I have this 25mm lens on the camera in the first place. But if you're out and about, you're shooting and you're not kind of talking head videos like this one, or you know, training courses or vlogging, then this is brilliant for both videography and photography. Now, the other brilliant thing about this one is that we have power OIS. You can see there's a little switch that you can switch on and off on the sides. And if you have one of the Panasonic Lumix G85 or G8, for example, that will work in tandem with the in-body stabilization, and you'll in effect get double the stabilization effect. I'm running the G7 at the moment, but still I found this is brilliant. The power OIS, when that's switched on, you know, you're moving around when you're taking video. I'll upload some videos and samples of this over the next week or so, but you'll see this. I'll show examples with it turned on and with it turned off, so you'll be able to see it's brilliant, and it's well worth it. So we'll talk about price in a moment. So just getting up to the Panasonic 100 to 300, f4.0 to f5.6, so that has the same aperture as the 45 to 150, and it also has the power OIS like the 14 to 140, so you can switch that on and off. So I'll just show you this zooms. I call this one Big Bertha, and I call my 14 to 140 Big Bertha. So this is Big Bertha, quite heavy. There's a lot of glass in there. This is a high quality lens. So obviously super telephoto, so with your 300mm, you can zoom right in, perfect for sports, especially with the image stabilization. So if you're trying to photograph your kids or your spouse or a friend playing sport, you can easily follow without a lot of shake, even fully extended at 300mm. So I do have some sample footage of that I will upload, so subscribe and hit the bell so you get notification of when that's coming out. And yeah, this is an amazing lens. So what I wanted to say was, out of all these lenses, I'm going to do a video explaining which lenses I will take on different type of field trips, I guess, or holidays or vacations, and my reasoning behind that. Because obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the one I've got on the camera, 6 lenses, too much to be carting around. What you want is versatility and something that will work in the majority of situations for what you want when you're on the go. So there's nothing worse than missing a shot because you've got the wrong lens, or it doesn't do what you need to do, or you can't get in close enough, or you can't zoom out far enough because you've got the wrong lens on. In my next video, I'm going to explain my top 2 or 3 lenses that I would actually take with me traveling. So let's talk about price. So the 25mm prime fixed lens that we're currently filming on is about $250 to $300. I'm talking Australian dollars, so if you're US, Canadian, subtract a bit. So if it's $250 in Australia, it's probably $200 US. We have our 2 kit lenses here, so they generally come packaged with a camera body. You can buy them individually as well. They run about probably $200 to $250 each for each one of those. The 45 to 150 might be slightly more, maybe $50 more. Then we start stepping up in price. So the 14 to 140 you can get for about 500 to 600 Australian dollars. Obviously that's more expensive, but if you look at the price of these two combined, it's going to be about the same as the 14 to 140, which gives you almost the same range minus that 10mm on the end there. And then the 100 to 300 will run you about $700. It's more of a specialized lens though, so for that sport photography or really zooming in on wildlife or architecture when you're out and about and traveling and in cities and what have you. So the Panasonic Lumix range, they do actually have about 29 lenses. I was just looking on their website, so these ones are quite affordable. So the lenses that I've kind of explained here, most people will be able to afford. If not immediately, they should definitely be able to save up within a couple of weeks or months, especially if they prioritize what they're buying. Some of the ones on here become quite specialized, so we're looking at really filmmakers, professional photographers that are working in a studio and stuff like that. For example, here we have the Leica telephoto lens, which is a single focal length of 200mm. It's selling for $4,299 Australian, so probably 3,800 US or something like that. Obviously it's got the Leica brand on there. A lot of these do have the Leica lenses in them, but they're not built in conjunction with Leica themselves, so they do come out a bit cheaper. Just scrolling down here, you can see another example is the 50 to 200mm here. That's running at $2,299. I'll leave a link to this page at the bottom of this video so you can go and have a look for yourself at the options, but definitely shop around. So eBay have some great bargains, also Amazon. If you're looking at used lenses, just be really careful, that they haven't been dropped, or they're not scratched, or they don't have any fungus or water damage or anything like that. So it may be worth kind of spending that little bit extra, getting a brand new one and making sure you have a warranty and everything to back it up as well. The other thing I've found is that some of these lenses come in different versions. So for example, the 100 to 300, this is actually a Mark II, so that was $700. I could have got the Mark I for around $500. So if you really need to save that extra bit of money, look at the different versions. Also, just make sure if you're wanting the latest version, that you're getting the latest version. So yeah, shop around, do your due diligence, make sure you're getting exactly what you want. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Panasonic Lumix Lens Roundup. As I said before, subscribe, hit the bell icon to make sure you get alerts when I upload examples of footage from all these lenses. See you guys in the next video.